the campaign. You're still trying to get on the debate stage, right? Next week.
We'll be on the
in
debate
Tuscaloosa.
stage.
You're confident you'll be there?
Yep.
Okay, so you're on the debate stage. You've got Vivek Ramaswamy, you've got Ambassador Haley, you've got Governor DeSantis, small group of you now.
Yep.
What is your objective up there? What are you trying to do?
Listen to the questions and answer them. And answer them in a way that people can understand, that are direct and honest, and not memorized and manufactured. Not answering the question you wish you had been asked, but actually answering the question that you are asked. And I think we did that in the last debate. And I thought the last debate was the best one of the three that we've had. And I think that's why my numbers have gone up so much since the last debate, because I actually stood on the stage and acted, I think, like a president's supposed to act, which is to listen to the question that's asked and to answer it, and to give people clear direction on where you are and who you are and what kind of president you'd be. So I don't have really a different strategy for the fourth one. The good news is there'll be one less person, and so my ability to have a little more time to explain things and to discuss important issues will be there.
You put a lot of time and effort into the state of New Hampshire, of course, counting on winning that one and then rolling through from there. When you look at the polls still, after all these months of your putting time and effort in there that show Donald Trump way ahead, Nikki Haley up there with you now as well, how do you view that? How do you change that dynamic? How do you catch Donald Trump?
Well, I think, first off, the only way to catch Donald Trump is to actually go after Donald Trump. And I think I'm the only candidate in this race who's actually doing that. I heard Governor Haley yesterday say, that he's the right president for the right time, and that drama just seems to follow him, as if he's an innocent victim in that. Like, when you subvert the Constitution, some drama will ensue. When you try to block a valid election, when you lie to the American people and tell them election was stolen when it wasn't, when you send out a deranged social media post at 2 o'clock in the morning on Thanksgiving morning, talking about all the people you're thankful that you hate, that's why drama is there, because he creates it. And so for Governor Haley to act as if Donald Trump is some kind of innocent victim is a problem, because she's trying to be everything to everybody, and you can't. And that eventually gets discovered. And, that's why I don't worry necessarily about where the polls stand now. If you look at 2007, at this time, Thanksgiving in Iowa, the leader was Mitt Romney. Mike Huckabee was at 4%. He won the Iowa caucuses. In 2011, Newt Gingrich was winning the primary, and Rick Santorum was at 3%. He wound up winning those caucuses. And in 2015, Ben Carson was 10 points ahead of Donald Trump, and Ted Cruz was at 7%. And Ted Cruz wound up winning fairly handily the Iowa caucuses over Donald Trump and Marco Rubio, and Ben Carson was a fourth or fifth place.
But you agree this moment is different given the depth of support for Donald Trump among his hardcore supporters. In other words, there aren't persuadables among that group.
Oh, no, I disagree with you completely, Willie. Like, we, in our own internal polling, it showed us that nearly 3 out of 4 of Donald Trump's supporters in New Hampshire say that they could change their mind between now and Election Day. And the point in a place like New Hampshire, for instance, is that in the last race in 2016, 50% of the people said they made their decision in the last 3 days. 20% of those people said they made their decision on primary day. So when you look at these polls, they're fine for today, but the election isn't today. And what we've seen is, in those 3 instances in Iowa, for instance, an early state that acts very similar to New Hampshire in terms of late deciding, you could see they really decided late, because you had 3 men who were in single digits at Thanksgiving who wound up winning the Iowa caucuses. We're already in the mid-teens and higher in some polls in New Hampshire. So we feel really good about where we are. And we're not going to play this game of process stories and which donor am I meeting with or which donor am I getting a check from. We have plenty of money to compete, and we're not going to play those games. I'm playing to the voters in New Hampshire. They're the ones who will decide.